I've actually found the perfect FPL draft that's got Trent, Salah and Haaland in it. Hello and welcome to this FPL Salah Draft video with me, Holly Shand. In today's video, I'm going to be looking at the advantages and disadvantages of going with Salah from game week 1. I'm going to be using the AI team rating on the My Team tool over on Fantasy Football Hub to see if putting Salah in there improves my latest draft. You can get your own FPL team rated by Hub AI by using the link in the description to this video, so drop a comment below with what percentage you got. Let's get into it. Starting off then with the advantages of going with Salah. First of all, it gives you a really solid spine of your team. If you've got the most expensive defender in Trent, the most expensive midfielder in Salah, and the most expensive forward in Haaland, you really get what you pay for with these premium players. We've seen it season after season, and it also provides you with maximum flexibility going forward. It's very difficult if you've gone without Salah from the start and you've spread funds in midfield to then get him in, whereas if you go the other way around and it doesn't work out, it's easy to reshape your team from that point and spread those funds around. Now, one of the key advantages of going with Salah is that he generally performs very well in game week 1. I think the lowest number of points he's ever got in game week 1 is 8 points. The other 6 seasons he's managed double digits. Granted, there've been quite favourable fixtures against promoted teams, but it also provides you with a credible captain option for game week 2 as well, where Salah plays Bournemouth at home. Haaland a trickier fixture that week against Newcastle at home, so Salah could be the gamble. But remember last season, Liverpool won this fixture 9-0 and Salah somehow avoided getting any attacking returns. I don't see that happening again though, and it is good to have those alternatives. Now, Salah's record in game week 2 is nowhere near as good as game week 1, so that's something to bear in mind. But Salah's been sensational so far in 2023. Obviously had a difficult start to last season, but he's actually got the most FPL points of any player this calendar year so far. And since Klopp's tweaked his system to that 3-2-2-3, obviously it's benefited Trent moving into midfield, but Salah has been sensational as well. He's a top for FPL points over the final 10 game weeks of last season, top for goal involvements as well with 13, and the underlying numbers are excellent as well. I've taken these from the Opta Stats tool over on Fantasy Football Hub, which is available for members, 50% off membership right now by using the affiliate link in the description to this video, and I've got that fantastic offer of win your mini league or your money back. Salah top for shots over the last 10 game weeks of last season, also top for shots in the box as well, so really encouraging numbers across the board as well. And what we found in previous seasons is if you squeeze that extra premium into your lineup over what the masses are going with, it does generally reap the rewards. We saw last season most managers go with a 2 premium setup. Those that went for 3 premiums with Haaland, Kane and Salah did really, really well from the start. This season, a lot of managers looking at the 1 premium, just Haaland. If you go Haaland and Salah, could that get you that fast start once again? Obviously, backing Salah from game week 1 does come with its disadvantages though, and especially if it doesn't work out and he flops. If it turns out to be the wrong decision, then you could lose a lot of ground on the rest of FPL. And we do also need to think about how it can make your squad quite unbalanced. You may need to tweak the formation, and going with those premiums means that you really need to utilise the really cheap options across all positions, including midfielders and forwards. Now, right now, obviously players can emerge in pre-season, but right now the 4.5 million options for midfielders and forwards are pretty bleak. And even if you go up to 5 million or 5.5, they're still not looking that great. But these are the kind of players that you're going to have to maybe rely on 1 in your 11 and a few from the bench to really be able to accommodate Salah. And you know, there's so many really nice mid-price midfielders this season from Arsenal, Manchester City and Manchester United, and you're basically saving a good 4 million by going with one of those over Salah, and you can get a couple more in, which looks really attractive. You can build a really strong team using players essentially from top 6 clubs last season if you don't go with Salah, if you just go with the 1 premium in Haaland. And you know, it does have its merits because most weeks we're going to captain Haaland anyway, and if Haaland isn't the optimal pick or something happens, it's very easy to get Kane in, for example, who comes in cheaper in the same position. So it's not a full-blown conclusion that Salah is the one to go for, and there are some disadvantages that we need to really, really think about. If we cast our minds back then to my first draft, which I shared with you last week, I put this in on the My Team tool on Fantasy Football Hub. Needs some work. I got a game week rating of 89% for game week 1 and a team rating of 91%. I want to push that higher. Now, in terms of the weak spots in my original team, there's a few rotation risks in the attack. Double City midfield with Grealish and Foden feels risky, as does Gakpo up front, given Liverpool's options. So they're the players that are going to make way to get Salah into this draft. So if I drop Foden and Grealish, that allows me to get Salah into my midfield. There's a few players that are non-negotiables for me. I really want to start the season with Haaland and Trent. I also want an Arsenal midfielder and a Manchester United midfielder, so they're going nowhere. But dropping the City midfield allows me to get Salah into my midfield. Obviously some compromises elsewhere. Rico Henry, who was going to be a really strong first sub for me, is then having to come into the back line in a 4-4-2 formation, and then we've got to downgrade Gakpo. I've currently got Calvert-Lewin in there, but you can go with Ferguson, Visser, maybe one of these 6 million forward options. Really performs well during pre-season and gives us confidence. And looking now at that 11, it doesn't look too bad. I've only put placeholders on the bench right now because at this current time of recording, we don't really know who's going to be decent options. So we've got 4 million goalkeeper, defender, and then a 4.5 million midfielder and forward. Now, Bell at Luton looks like he could be an option that can get consistent minutes to be a good first sub as the 4 million defender. But the other options for the bench look pretty bleak, which is a worry with this formation, which is the main thing that puts me off. But I do like the look of the 11, and I did put this in to get rated by AI over on the Fantasy Football Hub My Team tool as well. And we saw an improvement, a team rating 94%, a game week rating of 91%. So that's given me a little bit of food for thought on, you know, maybe this draft is better than the one I posted last week. And I am going to keep this one in on the FPL website for a few days, see how I feel about it. But I am actually leaning towards going with Salah at the moment. So let me know in the comments, give me any feedback, what you think to this 11, and make sure you're getting your own latest draft rated by AI over on Fantasy Football Hub using the link in the description to this video. It's absolutely free to try out. Maybe you've got a better draft than me that includes Trent, Salah and Haaland. If you have, I'd love to hear all about it. Thank you for supporting the channel during pre-season. A lot of hard work going on behind the scenes, so really helps if you can drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back very soon with another video. Thank you for watching.